How will China's invasion of Taiwan crisis crash the US stock market? The VIX this year has been boring, even after the Fed started QT, crawling around 30. The only way to move the needle is by creating an unprecedented event, creating real fear that shocks the market. In 2020, we had that once-in-a-lifetime health event. The VIX went up to an 80. Stocks crashed 35% in 4 weeks. October 16th was the start of one of those events. They will give an unprecedented third term to President Xi Jinping, the most powerful man in China. Why is this important? Because Xi has stated he wants to and will dominate the world. As an economic, social, and military power, he wants to replace the American order. US government knows this. Wow, this just happened. Effective immediately. Biden has forced all Americans working in China to quit their jobs. They must come back to the US or lose their US citizenship. What is happening? Is the war about to start? This is going to affect our stock market, which will affect your investment portfolio. And we need to understand it in depth, so that we know what to do from this point on. I will be back. And of course, smash the like button. If you want to be my good boy, apply to write your first book with me. Welcome back to the Audacious Money Witch channel, where we talk about macroeconomy, stocks, bonds, and commodity markets. If you like any of these markets, please subscribe. If you like any of these topics, you are intelligent. That's why you're here. And you know what to do, and push my button. If you like what you see in today's video, this video is brought to you by my Patreon. If you are a sweet boy, go to patreon.com/magicalgoddesscheryl to support all my work. If you want to be my good boy, apply to write your first book with me, author of best-selling books, Goddess Cheryl. My good boys always obey, and they always get rewarded handsomely. Have you been a good boy? You will get the encouragement you need on your author journey. Meanwhile, in China, Xi opened his Communist Party's Congress in a speech laid out his vision. He stressed his goal of reunifying the self-ruled island of Taiwan with China. He said, "The matter for the resolution of the Taiwan issue is a matter for the Chinese themselves to decide. We insist on striving for the prospect of peaceful reunification with the greatest effort. However, we are not committed to abandon the use of force, and we reserve the option of taking all necessary measures. China has been transformed from a poor inward-looking country into a global superpower and the world's second largest economy. His reluctance to condemn Russia's invasion of Ukraine has antagonized the West. US and China war tension has never been hotter. China is building its military in anticipation of conflict. They have, over the last 10 years, built more ships that are seaworthy than any other country in the world. There are ships that are not there just to protect the China seas, but have the ability to move in long distances. They are now the second largest owner of aircraft carriers, second to the United States. They are building out their air force. They are building their nuclear power. This is all indicating that China will take Taiwan one way or the other, and that will have a conflict with the US, and they are prepared for it. They are creating an alliance between China, Brazil, Russia, India, and South Africa. In this alliance, they represent 2/3 of the world's population. If you didn't watch my previous video about Taiwan, everything was triggered in August 1st. Everything. When Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, third in line in power, following the Vice President, she went to Taiwan and she was threatened by the Chinese government. Do not go or it will be a lot of serious consequences. So she landed in Taiwan anyway. At the day when Uranus, Mars, and Rahu were all together with this triple conjunction at 24 degrees of Aries. All of these is building to a huge crescendo by the end of October. By the time we get to the end of this month, we are going to see a huge event coming. There is a solar eclipse that happens October 25th. On October 30th, Mars will turn retrograde. So the transit of Mars at this time of eclipse is stationing and standstill. Any planet that is stationed is so much more powerful, monumentally more powerful. And what is Mars? Mars is a conflict, war, anger, violence. And when Mars goes retrograde, it brings to the forefront all of these representation. So if you think this is going to blow over and nothing's coming of it, think again. By the time we hit November, we will have a big situation on our hands. On October 15th, Michael Burry retweeted this situation. He said a critically important story not getting enough attention. A thread which the US government's new export controls are wreaking havoc on. China's chip industry. Lots of people don't know what happened yesterday. To put it simply, Biden has forced all Americans working in China to pick between quitting their jobs and losing US citizenship. Every American executive and engineer working in China's semiconductor manufacturing industry resigned yesterday, paralyzing Chinese manufacturing overnight. With all new Biden sanctions, all American supplies of IP blocks, components, and services departed overnight, thus cutting off all service to China. Long story short, every advanced node semiconductor company is currently facing comprehensive supply cutoff, resignations from all American staffs, and immediate operation paralysis. This is what annihilation looks like. China's semiconductor manufacturer industry was reduced to zero overnight. Complete collapse. No chance of survival unless they took Taiwan. He said the level of embarrassment is on par with Pelosi's visit to Taiwan. Many people don't understand why this is annihilation. ASML has stopped providing service and support to mainland China. As ASML said, at October 7th, the US government issued a new set of regulations prohibiting support to certain fabs in China by US persons. As a result, any ASML US employee, including US citizens, green card holders, and foreign nationals who lived in the US are prohibited from providing certain service to Advanced Fab in China, effectively at midnight tonight. ASML US employee must refrain from servicing, shipping, or providing support to any customer in China. So how am I going to prepare for it? First of all, I don't want to own any company that operates in China. If US and China have a conflict, that factory that is making Apple phones probably start making a different kind of phone. That gigafactory of Tesla probably be shut down. And US citizens must leave China or lose citizenship. And think about why Amazon, Target, and Walmart moved this year's Black Friday, which is supposed to be on the day after Thanksgiving, at November 25th of this year. They are moving it early to October now. Why? It is because what's about to happen may reduce people's mood to shop for those products. Remember, most of their products come from mainland China. If a war with China happens, would you still want Chinese products? Okay, now I'm going to show you my client Tina Kadish's book. It's called Freedom, 7 Steps to Thrive in Life and Business. This is a business book. It's such a nice book. And my book, my client Taddy Eazzy's book, this is an erotic novel, and it is called Wicked Pussy Perfume. Such a great, amazing book. And my book, Pizza Party. This is a bestseller. And my book, Gingerbread Dreams. It is another bestseller. I hope you've enjoyed the content today. I thank you for being a fan and supporting me. Thank you for watching. Bye.